What's going on, man? Patrick James here for another episode of Raw Dating Advice. Today we're going to be talking about 6 magnetic texts that women cannot resist. Let's get into it. I'm gonna be honest, man, I just put on this jacket for the video, but it's kind of hot in here because I live in Arizona, so fuck it, let's take this shit off. Alright, let's get into it. Here's the thing. You can steal and send these texts as soon as tonight. All of them, I've picked these 6 texts to be in various different situations. Now that said, the only reason you should ever be texting a girl is as a supplement to seeing her in person, right? If you can't see her now, you just text her so that you're making her anxious to see you in the near future, in person, face to face. And once you understand that, now you're ready to learn the first text. The first text is simply, please tell me you, and then insert any qualification you want. So what are your standards for women? What do you like in women? And use that as your qualification here, but try to make it somewhat playful. So for example, I might start a conversation by saying to a girl, please tell me you're not a cat person. Please tell me you like tequila. Please tell me you have a dog. And those are just mine because I like tequila and I like dogs. And let's be honest, if you're a cat person, you probably don't have a soul anyways. So that's a great text to start the conversation and start leading the interaction, as well as framing yourself as the buyer here, because once you start qualifying her and she starts qualifying to you, what she's actually doing is she's selling herself to you. So qualifying girls is a great thing to do, and doing this via text is a great playful way to start the conversation. Let's get into the second text. All right, the second text is something that has haunted men since the dawn of time, or at least since the dawn of text messaging starting with men and women. All you have to do is send her a ... the next time she doesn't respond to you in a timely fashion. Now here's the thing. It's not really ever acceptable to be double texting or triple texting a girl purely just to get her to respond to you. Because oftentimes if you're double texting a girl, meaning that if you send her a text like, hey, which you should never send that text anyways, but for example, if you send her, hey, and she doesn't respond, and you send her, what's up, and she doesn't respond, and then you say, are you there? And she doesn't respond, you seem needy, and you seem validation seeking, and you seem like someone who doesn't really have a lot of options with women, and it just repels women. So first off, don't ever be sending, hey, what's up, or are you there? First off, but second off, if you send something like an invite to a girl and she hasn't responded for a couple of hours, or you send a text and it's like middle of the conversation and she doesn't respond, but you kind of wanted to continue the conversation, the only time it's acceptable to double text her is if you send her a ... Now, why do I recommend this text if you must double text a girl? Well, one, because it takes minimal effort for you to send it, right? Because if you're double texting a girl, it implies that you're putting more effort into this conversation than she is, but if you have to do it, make it as minimal effort as possible. So ... is very easy. It's not even a complete word, it's not even a complete sentence, but it completely gets across what you want her to do, right? ... implies that this is an open loop. You expect a response. And a person who expects a response is not needy. He's more like just the king on his throne who says, I expect you to respond to me because I'm the fucking man, and you obviously would wanna get a piece of this. So ... is a great way to double text a girl if you must, to continue the conversation, especially if it's an invite and you need to know soon. Therefore you can, fill in her spot if she can't make it, and you can ask some other girl. All right, so that's the second text that's magnetic, that attracts women, that women cannot resist. So the third text that you should send to women is this. This sounds like a great combo to have over a drink or 7. Or this sounds like a conversation better discussed over a drink or 12, right? Something along those lines. Now, why is this text good? Several things. First off, if you are texting women and you're going back and forth with each other, if you continually text her and you never transition the conversation to meeting up with her, then you will quickly become her texting buddy. And what is a texting buddy? A texting buddy is some guy who women text just for the purposes of validating her over her phone. Literally, you are a ping to her phone that makes her get a little dopamine hit in her head, but because she already gets that validation from you over this thing, she doesn't have the urge to meet up with you in person. You've just become a way to validate her throughout the day. So a texting buddy is a guy who always flirts with her and talks to her over text, but never actually sees her in person or sleeps with her. And let me ask you a question. Do you wanna see a girl in person, make out with her, hook up with her, and sleep with her? Or do you wanna be her texting buddy and maybe flirt with her or text but never see her? To me, it's a no-brainer. You obviously wanna see her in person. So if you can tell that this conversation is going nowhere, just transition the conversation to meeting up in person by sending this text, by saying, this sounds like a topic better discussed over a drink or 7, or this sounds like a conversation better had over 4 shots of tequila. Now, why do I end it with like a playful multiple drink type of thing? Well, one, because if you say, let's have this over a drink or 2, right, that's a common phrase that doesn't really stand out. But if you say, this is better over a drink or 7, or better over a drink or 12, it interrupts her pattern because it was an ending that she didn't expect. So that's just a playful thing that I like to do over text. Now, before we get into the 4th text, I do want to talk about my book, 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl. I have printed 500 copies of these and I'm giving them away for free. And if you want to claim your copy of 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl completely for free, all you have to do is go to howtogetthegirlnow.com. Now let's get into the 4th magnetic text that women cannot resist. The 4th text is something that's perfect to send a girl anytime she teases you, tests you, or challenges you via text. It actually talked about this in my last video where I talked about what to do if a girl teases you, but here's the thing. A lot of the banter tactics, you know, push, pull, teasing, challenging, a lot of that stuff really does work over text. In fact, it works even better over text because it's isolated and it's contextual and it doesn't really have, you know, your body language, your vocal tonality that also has to go into it. You just have to get the words right over text. So anytime a girl teases you, tests you, or challenges you via text message conversation, all you have to do is respond with, does that line normally work on most guys? Here's the only caveat to this text. If you waited 30 minutes to an hour or just a long time to respond to her text, then it kind of loses its effect. Why is this? Because the key to being witty and the key to playful, fun, highly charged, sexual tension-filled banter is simply having a quick response. You've heard the term quick-witted. Well, all you have to do is have a quick response that is kind of just puts her on the back of her heels, right? So when a girl challenges you, tests you, or teases you over text, immediately respond with, does that line normally work on most guys? Because the quicker you can respond, the quicker witted you seem, which is a highly attractive trait. Now let's get into the 5th text. This is something that I call the last second condition. So all it is it's an invite that you send to a girl. Anytime you want to get a girl out with you or hang out with a girl, you send her an invite, obviously, but you can spruce up that invite with a little bit of what I like to call a bad boy edge. And all it is a challenge or a last second condition at the end of the invite. So for example, if I wanted to invite a girl out with me to drinks tonight at 7:30, I could say, hey, I'm going to get drinks at XYZ bar at 7:30 tonight. You should come, ... but only if insert any qualification. Now we talked about qualifications in the 1st text, but this one is tailored around the invite. And it's a last second condition because you only want her to come if she can meet this playful qualification. So, hey, come out to drinks with me tonight at 7:30, but only if you promise to keep your hands to yourself, right? Or, but only if you promise you can keep up. But only if you promise to bring bucket loads of fun energy. But only if you promise to wear that black dress that you know I love, right? Something like that is a great way to spruce up the invite and it challenges her, right? It's almost like a takeaway, but also asking her to hang out. So it's a very great way to frame yourself as the buyer, and it's kind of playful, it's kind of challenging, and I guarantee it's gonna start getting a lot better responses if you've struggled with inviting girls out with you up to this point in time. So that's the 5th text. Now let's get into the 6th and final magnetic text for this video. And this is a text that I want you to start sending a girl if you plan to meet up with her, but several days in advance. So for example, if you guys made plans on Monday to hang out on Wednesday, or if you made plans on Tuesday to hang out on Friday, in that situation, you have to text her on the day, the same day that you plan to hang out with her, right? Even though you made the plans on Monday for Wednesday, you still have to text her on Wednesday just to solidify those plans, just to let her know that, hey, we still have plans tonight, and by the way, you should get excited. So that is the text. Get pumped for tonight, exclamation point, I've got a surprise for us in store. So like I said, if you don't text her that same day that you plan to hang out with her, then she's gonna wonder, wait, do we still have plans? Should I make other plans? And if she doesn't hear from you, and if you just don't send her this text at all, then she's going to assume that you either forgot or that you made other plans. So she's likely gonna flake on you. So send her the text, get pumped for tonight, exclamation point. By the way, I've got a surprise in store for us. And all this does is it creates an open loop. So even if she was planning on changing the plans on you last second, even if she was planning on maybe canceling on you, now because you've created an open loop, by the way, I've got a surprise in store for us, that open loop is enough to get her curious to want to actually see you out that night. So it's just another added thing that you can do to get her excited for the night, but also to actually ensure that she'll show up because you created curiosity. You created an open loop and you almost sparked FOMO in a way. FOMO, if you don't know, is fear of missing out. She doesn't want to miss out on the surprise. People love surprises. So that's the sixth and final magnetic text that women cannot resist. If you like this video, all I ask is that you give me a thumbs up. And like I said, if you want to grab my book, 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl, completely for free, just go to howtogetthegirlnow.com to claim your free copy today. On that note, I will see you later, my man. Peace out.